I met Lily 3 years ago, in the most boring way possible, through mutual friends at a house party. She wasn't the kind of girl that immediately grabbed your attention. She wasn't loud, didn't try to be the center of everything. But there was something about her, this quiet confidence, the way she listened more than she spoke. We started dating a few months later, and for a while, it felt perfect. We laughed at the same dumb jokes, we had the same taste in movies, and we just fit. She made me feel like I wasn't alone in my own head. Like I wasn't just existing but actually living. And now I'm outside her place, wondering when everything started falling apart. Maybe it was small things at first. The way she started looking at her phone more when we were together. The way our conversations turned into polite exchanges instead of excited ramblings about nothing. The way she started saying, "I'm just tired," when I asked what was wrong. And maybe I believed her. Maybe I wanted to believe her. But then came the night that changed everything. It was 2 weeks ago. A Friday. We were supposed to have a quiet night in, just pizza and a movie, the kind of night we used to love. But she called an hour before I was supposed to come over and said she wasn't feeling great. I told her to get some rest, that I'd see her tomorrow. Except I drove by her place later that night. I don't even know why. Maybe some sick part of me was already suspicious. And that's when I saw her. Dressed up. Laughing. Getting into some guy's car. I didn't confront her that night. I couldn't. I just sat there, gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. The next morning, I acted normal. Pretended I didn't know anything. I thought maybe, it wasn't what it looked like. Maybe I was jumping to conclusions. But the doubt had already taken root. And now, here I am, sitting outside her apartment again. I don't know what I'm hoping for. Some kind of answer. A reason. An excuse that will make it all okay. I check my phone. No messages. Maybe I should just go home. Maybe I already know the truth. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of the past few months, trying to pinpoint the exact second everything changed. Was it something I did? Something I didn't do? By morning, I had convinced myself I was overreacting. Maybe it really wasn't what it looked like. Maybe it was just a friend. Maybe I was being paranoid, insecure, needy, whatever word people use when they don't want to admit they're hurt. So I did nothing. For a week, I said nothing. I still texted her good morning. I still asked about her day. I still kissed her like nothing was wrong, even though every touch felt like it was meant for someone else. And she acted like nothing had changed. Maybe, for her, nothing had. Maybe she had checked out long before I ever noticed. Then, last night happened. We were at her place, sitting on the couch, watching some show neither of us was really paying attention to. She was on her phone, scrolling, smiling at something. And I don't know what came over me, but I said it. "Who's he?" Her fingers froze mid-scroll. She looked at me, blinking, like I had just spoken in another language. "What?" I forced myself to keep my voice steady. "The guy from last Friday. The one who picked you up." I expected her to deny it. To get angry. To make me feel crazy for even asking. Instead, she just sighed. Like she was tired. Like I was the one exhausting her. "His name is Matt," she said. Just like that. No hesitation. And my stomach dropped. She didn't even try to lie. How long? I asked, barely recognizing my own voice. She looked away. That was answer enough. I stood up. I don't know why, I guess I thought if I moved, if I did something, the weight crushing my chest might ease up. It didn't. So, what? I laughed bitterly. You were just waiting for me to figure it out. Or were you planning to tell me at some point? Jake, she sighed again, like this conversation was some chore she had to get through. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I felt something in me snap. Really? My voice rose. 'Cause you're doing a pretty damn good job of it. She winced but didn't say anything. I ran a hand through my hair, trying to calm down, but the anger was bubbling too fast, too hot. How long? I asked again. Silence. That was the worst part, the silence, because it meant long enough. Long enough for her to not even bother making up an excuse. I nodded slowly, feeling a strange sort of numbness settle over me. Okay, I said. Okay. She looked up at me, her eyes finally showing something close to regret. Jake, But I was already walking to the door. Because what else was there to say? I don't remember much about the drive home. Just the sound of my heartbeat in my ears and the way my hands wouldn't stop shaking. It didn't feel real. None of it did. I kept expecting my phone to light up with a text from her. Some explanation, some excuse, anything. But it stayed silent. And that's when it hit me. She wasn't going to fight for this. She had already let go. I don't know how long I sat in my car after I parked. The street was quiet, the kind of quiet that makes you feel like you're the only person left in the world. Eventually, I forced myself to go inside. I kicked off my shoes, collapsed onto the couch, and stared at the ceiling. The thing about breakups, real breakups, is that they don't hit all at once. It's not like in the movies, where the moment someone leaves, you start crying and breaking things. No, the pain comes in waves. The first wave was numbness. The second came at 3 a.m., when I realized I had no idea what to do with myself. My hand kept hovering over my phone, muscle memory trying to text her, to tell her something random about my day. And then I'd remember. She wasn't mine anymore. That thought alone nearly broke me. The third wave came the next day, when I woke up and realized I didn't have to check my phone for her message. Because there wasn't going to be one. I went through the motions. Got up. Took a shower. Went to work. Pretended I was fine. But every second felt heavy, like I was moving through quicksand. I told myself I wouldn't check her socials. That I didn't care what she was doing. By the third day, I caved. And that's when I saw it. A picture. Just a simple, stupid picture. Her at a cafe, laughing, with someone's arm barely visible on the edge of the frame. I knew whose arm it was. I stared at that picture for a long time, waiting for the pain to hit. For the jealousy, the anger, the heartbreak. But all I felt was tired. Tired of fighting for something that was already gone. Tired of pretending I didn't know how this story was always going to end. That was the fourth wave. The one where I finally let go. You know what they don't tell you about heartbreak? It doesn't kill you. It just makes everything quiet. The noise in your head, the thoughts, the excitement, the plans for the future, just disappears. You wake up, you go through the motions, and you wait for something to matter again. For a while, nothing did. But here's the thing about time, it moves forward whether you want it to or not. Days turned into weeks. The pain didn't hit as hard. I stopped checking my phone expecting her name. I stopped looking at every notification like it might be her saying she made a mistake, because she wasn't going to. And I was done waiting. Then, a month later, I ran into her. It was in a grocery store of all places. I was grabbing coffee, she was in the produce section. I almost walked past her without noticing, but she turned at the last second, and our eyes met. For a split second, everything froze. Then she smiled. Not a big smile. Just a small, hesitant one. "Hey," she said. I swallowed the lump in my throat. "Hey." She looked good. Happy. Like the girl I fell for, except, different. Or maybe I was the one who was different. "How have you been?" she asked, like we were old friends catching up. I could have lied. Said I was great. That life had been amazing. But the truth was, I wasn't sure how I had been. "I'm getting there," I said instead. She nodded like she understood. And maybe she did. There was a moment where I thought she might say something else. That maybe this was where she'd tell me she missed me, that she regretted everything. But she didn't. She just gave me another small smile and said, "It was good seeing you." And then she walked away. I stood there for a moment, watching her go, waiting for that crushing weight to hit me again. But it didn't. Instead, I exhaled. And for the first time in a long time, the quiet didn't feel so heavy. I left the store, coffee in hand, and stepped outside. The air was crisp, the kind of cold that wakes you up, makes you feel alive. I took a breath. Then I kept walking.